Okay, boys and girls, the first step today is to draw our penguins. We're going to need a couple of supplies. We're going to need a black Sharpie, a pencil, and possibly an eraser, and a little piece of charcoal. That's like really dark chalk. So we're going to use this for the shadow parts in this last step. So first I'm going to start with the very first step of drawing my penguin on my white paper. And notice how this square should be the same as this square. So I want to make sure this circle matches on this square here. So it almost fills the top, but there's a little space around it. So looking at that circle there, I'm going to try and match that on my paper. And look how light I'm drawing. I'm drawing pretty light this circle until I think I've got it right. And then I can kind of darken it a little bit where I think the circle looks right. And then those little sketchy marks around there, since I've drawn so light, I will be able to erase those later. So I'm going to just leave them for now. Now the next step is the body. I'm going to go down and almost touch the bottom of my paper, starting with the bottom of the circle. I'm going to go kind of in for the neck of the penguin and then out really big for the body. Almost looks like kind of a potato. And then go back in a little bit for the neck and then meet the bottom of the head. And I can go over this a couple times, really light and sketchy. I'm not pressing too hard until I get it right. I can darken it. Next step, the wings are going to come right from the neck area here and come around and back to the body. And then from the neck, come around and then back to the body. Next step, we're going to draw the feet. So the feet are just kind of like little ovals at the bottom. Okay, let's see. The next step is to color in the feet and then make the little shape that's on the face, because eventually this will be colored in black. So that shape is kind of funny, but it starts almost like an upside down rainbow. And then when I come around, I'm going to come down to the nose and then back up. Now to me it kind of looks like a noodle, upside down noodle. So try your best with this. This is kind of a difficult shape. Okay, I'm going to color in the feet, so I'll just shade that in with my pencil for now, and I'll go back with my marker, Sharpie marker later. Okay, the next step is add the eyes. So the eyes are like circles, but put a smaller circle in there because we're going to color around that and make that little circle white. And then the nose is like pointy and then it curves up. Okay, so we're going to do some coloring in this step. That's where my Sharpie is going to come in. So I'm going to color in the feet first. Okay, now I'm going to color in the eyes. So this is something I have to be very careful with. Let's zoom in here so you can see this. When I color in the eyes, I want to go around the white circle first and then color in the big circle. So that makes the penguin's eyes look like they're dark black, but also like they have a little shiny white space. So again, around the little circle and then towards the big circle, fill in the whole big circle. Now the rest of the face here, it looks like I have to color that in. So I'm just going to outline this space first so I know where I'm going. And then this whole area of the head, this whole big circle is going to get colored in black with my Sharpie. So if you want to get a thicker Sharpie, you can get a thicker Sharpie because the thin Sharpies don't color in that very well. So I've got a really thick Sharpie here that you can borrow too if you're on this step. So I think I'm just going to use this. Yeah, that's much easier to color in this big area a little bit quicker and a little bit neater so we don't have a lot of white space. You could also use just a regular black marker, a thick black marker that you find if you can't find a Sharpie to use. I want to make sure I get all those little white spaces. And I'm going to go around the nose, make sure I don't color in the nose because that's going to be kind of more whitish. Okay, so I've got most of his head colored in, maybe just another layer right there. All right, let's zoom out here. So the last step after I color all those things in, it says add the charcoal. That's why I put a little star here, because the charcoal now is kind of like the chalk we used for our last project, but we're just gonna add some shadows around the body parts. So starting with the big potato body, I'm gonna go around the whole potato body, even on the bottom here. And I'm gonna do this a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4 to get enough charcoal on there. And then I'm just gonna take one finger, so super soft and careful, and just blend down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as I blend this out a couple times, you can see it starts to look like it's fading like a shadow. If you look really closely, you can see it's fading onto the tummy a little bit. I might want to add a little bit more. Just press out a little bit to get a little bit more shadow on the body. See how I'm blending in a circle like this? Just a little bit, not too much, because his fur is normally white. We just want to see a little bit of a shadow. Okay, now let's take the charcoal and keep going around some of the body parts. Let's go around the wings now too. So there's a little shadow here and around the wings. Just one finger very carefully around, making that little shadow. You can go around the rest of the body here. And then around the wings over here too. Okay, that looks great. Now I think that's enough shadow, maybe a little bit underneath the head. Yeah, let's do a little bit underneath the head. And blend it a little bit. Not too much. And if I blend it in an area that I don't like, I can always just take my eraser. That's why I have that eraser. Tap the chalk off and just get rid of some of these areas. Maybe I have a little bit of fingerprints on the side I don't like here, and I can just get rid of some of those pieces of chalk that I don't like. Okay, that looks great. Now my last step, it says cut out the penguin and paint the background. So the background, we're going to use some watercolor paint. I'll show you that in the next video for the colorful part behind him. What your last step is just to cut the penguin out. So I'm going to take my penguin and just cut him right out so that I can paste him into the background when I finish the background.